So today I'm here with my friend Toni, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity to play with colors and foundations because I actually brought this camera to work. And it's really fun because I have all these different colors and my coworkers are all different colors. So we're going to do a tutorial on Toni today, and I'm going to show you the process of putting on foundation while making it look like skin and feel really good on too. So she's already removed all of her makeup, so she used like just a regular face wipe by Alcone. And now I'm going to just start by prepping her skin. So we're going to use a priming moisturizer, and all the products today will be Eve Pearl because she has a great line for women of color. So that's what we'll be using today. So this is just like a moisturizer, but it's a primer because it kind of fills in any like cracks or indents so that the foundation has a smoother surface, and it'll last longer too, so you don't get as old. Since she does have combination skin, I'm going to use an anti-shine. This is in tan/dark, the Eve Pearl anti-shine. So I have some on my palette, and I'm just going to put it on her T-zone, and it applies a lot more sheer than that. So just right here in the T-zone. Okay, so Toni is primed, moisturized, anti-shine, and you can kind of see how her face looks flat, not shiny, so that's a good kind of base, right? So now we're going to use a corrector. This is the Eve Pearl Magic Salmon Concealer Trio, and it has light, medium, and dark. So this is for under eye circles, so it's going to cancel out darkness, and it's going to disappear like with the colors. So we're going to use it between medium and dark. Okay, so I have a little bit right here. You don't need a lot at all. I'm just going to take an eyeshadow brush because it's going to help blend. And then I'm going to put it on. So all you do is look up. And I'm just going to buff it into her skin. And you're going to want to kind of bring it up into the corners too because there's always darkness there. So it's a little orange, a little tinge of orange, so I'm going to take a lighter color and get, this is a tan HD Dual Foundation, so we're going to get a little bit of the lighter color, just to kind of highlight under that area. And you can do this before or after your foundation, it's just preference. And we're going to start with foundation now, and we can always go back and kind of touch up any concealer. But what I'm going to use is I'm going to test out the, here's the Trio, the Foundation Trio B. I'm going to try to see if she's a match for these. If not, I can always go the tan. So I'll try the lightest color on her. And this is the light side of the dark HD Dual Foundation right here. So I'm just going to apply it to my palette, and then I'm just going to get all over the edges of her face. And make sure to blend down into the neck because you don't want like a mask look. This is going to be pretty quick and easy. And this is a cream foundation, so look this way. It's going to have nice coverage, and it's going to look like skin because it's very moisturizing. And for any parts that you want to cover, you can just pat it on, and that way you get more coverage. So we're just patting the brush into the skin. And then we're going to get the forehead. So that's the outside of her face, and then we're going to go into the tan, and I'm going to use the darker side of the tan, and I'm going to use it on the center of her face to kind of highlight her. And it blends right in. Can you tilt your head down a little bit for me? Thanks. I'm in a shorter chair. So you can do the Eve Pearl method as well. Which is putting the reverse contouring, but I'm just doing it how I usually do, which is just kind of following the natural colors of the face. And I'm blending the two colors into each other as I reach the edges. And don't forget to get around the nose. I'm going to get a little bit of a darker color and contour Toni's nose because she wanted that. So we're going to get this darker color right here. And I'm just going to put it on my palette. And I'm going to get the same eyeshadow brush, so that way, because it's a smaller brush, and I'm just going to tap it really lightly, and then I'm going to go start at the eyebrow and then bring it down into the nostril and then go around. And this is creating shades to her face, kind of like mimicking where the shadows would be. And it's going to thin her nose because the lines are going to create darkness and highlight the center of her nose. Okay, so now that we have the foundation on, we're going to take a damp sponge, just a wedge sponge, and since it's damp, it's not going to absorb a lot of product, but really I'm just going to thin it out on her face. So that way she has a nice light texture, and you can actually start to see her skin underneath, because she doesn't need full coverage. So we're just going to thin it out. And then we're going to go ahead, and if you want to touch up anything else, like conceal anything else, you can go back and touch up any stubborn spots that you might see. So I'm just going to stipple it on, and by patting in, you're going to get the most coverage. So I'm just going to pat in any areas. So now, whenever you have a creamy product on your face, you're going to want to set with powder. So I have a loose setting powder. This is the tan/dark one, and I'm using this one because it won't look ashy on her face, where a translucent powder doesn't really look translucent on darker skin tones. So this is what it looks like, the color. This is going to prevent it from moving onto her clothes, from getting oily. It's going to really set it. I'm actually going to go in and do a little bit of extra contouring with this darker powder. This is the tan, and I'm just going to take the darker side and bring it back down on her nose and just kind of make a nice, natural, work-appropriate contour. And then you can take the lighter side and hit it right down the center. This is going to be a nice highlight. And you can use this also as a nice setting powder for your concealer, because it's a little lighter. You want light under your eyes. So then we're going to go to a blush. Eve Pearl has these different blush trios that you can use. I'm just going to use another blush I have, so that's going to show up a little bit better on her skin tone. And some color. So you can take it and put the excess like all around, so that way she has a natural flush all over. And that's it!
It feels great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very light. I thought it would be heavy with all the different
it's just it's the way you apply it.
Yeah.
And the good thing about creams, it's so versatile because you can use it to conceal.
Nose.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
Oh, when she did the nose, I could totally see the transformation when she went along the side.
But it's totally natural though.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Because it's work appropriate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ren. That looks good. I like that.
Yeah. So next we have our beautiful model, Kenyatta. So she has beautiful cocoa skin. So we're going to do the exact same process on her, and you can see that all of these products, since they have different tones in here, will work on different skin tones. And her skin is actually pretty nice, so I'm just going to be like kind of an evening out palette like this, so that it keeps it sanitary, you know, so I don't dip my... So I'm going to take, this is kind of cold. It's just water, so that we start with, you know, like kind of like hydrated skin. I started out with more of a damp face for her because she's a little bit more dry. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. This is primer moisturizer. So before I put foundation, I'm going to do a little bit under eye concealing. So this one is kind of got melted in the mail, unfortunately. But I'm going to use the darker color on her because she's a little bit darker, so we can go darker. And apply it to underneath her eyes. And then you're a little taller than Toni, so I need to say that. And then we're going to go right into the foundation. So I'm going to take my synthetic foundation brush, and we're going to just apply it all over. And it disappears right into her skin, so it's a good match. And she's a little bit more red in the center. So we can go ahead and mix a little bit of a lighter shade for the center too. Because we're always usually lighter in the center of our face. And when you do that, it kind of just gives light to your face. And this is going to take away any extras that she doesn't need. And then we're going to set with the same powder, which is the tan dark powder. And even though she's darker than Toni, it will still look good on her because it's still kind of on the translucent side. So we're just going to apply it all over. And this is going to set it and melt all of the shades into each other nicely. I'm going to take more of a reddish shade because that will show up really nice on our skin tone. So these two. Okay, look this way. Okay. giving you some glow to the cheeks. And taking the excess and going all the way around. And we're done! Can I see?
Yes. Natural nice.
Okay, so next we have Adrienne. It's pretty much the same thing, so I'll go ahead and just kind of talk it through. I muted it. Adrienne's in the middle between Toni and Kenyatta, so I do the exact same process. I'm just kind of picking different colors in the trio. At least with this video, it's a little bit more in focus than it was with the first two because I moved the camera closer. So here I am concealing her under eye circles, which makes a huge difference. I'm using the medium and tan semi concealer. Then I'm using the lighter side of the dark foundation, and it's in the Trio B. So in the regular shades, it's the light side of the dark HD Dual Foundation. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the outer side with the dark side. So she is the dark duo, if you're wondering. And I'm just kind of blending in the two colors together with the foundation brush so that way they blend really well. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and follow up with a typical, wet the sponge type deal. And here I am thinning it out because you don't want it to look like foundation. You want it to look like skin. So just regular sponge with a little bit of water. I'm going to go ahead and set it with the same loose powder, the darker one. I think there's only two. And just setting it so it doesn't budge. And then I'm applying like a brownish kind of mauvey tone blush to kind of just give life to her face. These Pro does have some darker blush trios. I just don't have any, so I'm just using some Camera Ready Cosmetics blush. And now I'm just going to add a little extra by filling in her eyebrows, doing a little bit of lipstick from the E Pro Lip Palette. Just because she was the last one and I wanted to jazz her up just a little bit more, but I didn't really have eyeshadow or all that. So here's the final look. Luckily it looks a lot better on my digital camera. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my blog, makeup599.com for more. Ciao, Bellas!